have a product review from a company called IcyDock. If you're in the business of building computers, you're probably familiar with them. What I have here is a drive bay that you can insert in a 5 1/4 inch bay. Same thing you would put a CD-ROM in, but this one gives you 4 slots, 4 trays that you can put in 4 2.5 inch hard drives. So this is useful for a server or any other computer that you're going to set up with maybe RAID or just multiple disks. The front of the box highlights a couple of important features. It has 2 cooling fans. It says full metal, meaning that generally it's made out of metal. I think there might be a little bit of plastic here and there, but for the most part the trays and the enclosure is made out of metal. It is lockable, plug and play, fits all 2.5 inch size hard drives, supports SATA or SAS and up to 6 gigabits per second, and it supports obviously 4 drives. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the box and then we'll share a few thoughts. So in the box you get the unit itself, you get a pamphlet with a few instructions in English and some other languages as well. You get some screws to mount it with, and then finally you get 2 keys that you can use in the locks that open up these trays. Now when these are unlocked, all you do is press this and it looks like they slide right out, and you can put your 2.5 inch drive into the tray or sled, whichever you call it. On the back here you can see it has 2 cooling fans, and it has 4 SATA ports to plug in those 4 drives, and it has 2 power plugs as well. One thing I notice about this is that it is very sturdy. It's actually quite heavy, and it's pretty much all metal. I do think the fan housings are plastic and maybe a little bit on the power plugs, but that's pretty much to be expected. Really the bulk of it though is metal. The trays are all metal as near as I can tell. One thing that is a very, very nice feature, if you can even call it a feature because it's so necessary, is that it has screw holes on the bottom. I don't know how many trays I've gotten like these that don't have screw holes on the bottom, even though that's a standard placement for mounting holes on a CD-ROM or any drive that typically would go in a 5 1/4 inch bay. The reason that's important is that even though most cases will mount from the side, there are some server cases that only mount from the bottom. For example, I have a server case here from Norco. I use a good many of these, and the 5 1/4 inch bay is here. If we turn that over, here's the only place where you can mount this. It doesn't have any screws on the side. You have to mount it from here. And I've built a good many computers with this case, and I've really gotten upset when I've gotten drive bays that didn't have the holes in the bottom. In some cases, I had to drill some holes to make it work. Another nice feature of this is it also supports SAS drives in addition to SATA drives. SAS stands for Serial Attached SCSI, and those are more high performance drives that are typically used in servers. And so the fact that it supports that is a good thing as well, because you might be putting this into a server. To put a drive in one of these trays, you just slide it in there, then flip it over and secure it using the screw holes there in the back, which line up nicely. Another thing that's important about a drive bay is that it not be too large. Sometimes you see these that are longer than what a CD-ROM drive would be, and if you happen to be mounting it in a tight case that's assuming a CD-ROM will be inserted, sometimes you don't have the extra space. That Norco case that I showed you a minute ago has a power supply right up close, and if you put a drive bay in there that's longer than a typical CD-ROM, you're going to have trouble getting all the cables plugged in. So that's really all I have to say at the moment about this. It really is has a feel of a very sturdy and high quality piece of equipment, and so I'm excited to give this a try in one of my servers. If you have any questions about this, put those in the comments below. Hopefully you found this helpful if you're looking into purchasing this product.